Debt is like a magic trick. Every time you think it's gone, it reappears, but with interest. But in all seriousness, debt is no joke. Credit card debt is at an all-time high. Balances in the US have increased by 24 billion to hit 1.17 trillion in the third quarter of 2024, according to the Federal Reserve Bank of New York Center of Microeconomic Data. If you're tired of feeling like you're stuck on a never-ending cycle of bills, interest rates, and minimum payments, you're in the right place. Today, we're going over some tried and true methods to crush that debt and finally take back your financial freedom. I want to acknowledge how stressful debt can be. The constant pressure of bills, interest, and just trying to make ends meet can leave you feeling stuck or hopeless. But here's the thing, no matter how deep in debt you might be, it's possible to get out. It's all about taking the first step and staying consistent with the right strategies. Before you start sending all your money straight to those credit cards and student loans, you need a little safety net. Otherwise, any random oops moment like a car breakdown or your dog developing a taste for luxury living can feel like a major setback. Building an emergency fund is your financial life preserver. It's like having a parachute before you jump out of a plane. Spoiler alert, you're going to need that before you can start debt payoff plans. So how much should you save? A common rule of thumb is to aim for 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. This means you add up your essential bills and you multiply that by 3 or 6. But remember, you don't need to have that entire amount saved up overnight. If you're just starting out, try to set aside an amount that will cover an important bill. Say $500 and build from there. Start small and build over time. The key is consistency. First up, the debt snowball method. Now, no, we're not actually throwing snowballs at your bank, although that would be oddly satisfying. The idea is simple. List all your debts from smallest to largest and then pay off the smallest first. Knock out the little guy and then use the momentum, the snowball effect, to tackle the next biggest debt, which accelerates the process. I know paying off the smallest debt first doesn't always make the most mathematical sense. I get it. You could be paying off the high interest debt first, which would save you more money in the long run. But here's the thing, paying off those small debts will build confidence, and that confidence will keep you going when you're paying down bigger balances. Next up is the debt avalanche method. It's like a snowplow of financial fury. This is for those who don't have time for small wins and want to crush it. With this method, you list all your debts, but this time you attack the one with the highest interest rate first. Why? Because math, you'll save more money in the long run. And who doesn't want to avoid paying for things you can't see, like sky-high interest fees? Now, let's say you have a credit card balance of $3,000 and your bank is allowing you to pay it interest-free. You also have a credit card balance of $2,500 at 22.9% interest and another balance of $5,000 at 15.9%. With the debt avalanche method, that $2,500 credit card becomes your top priority because it carries the highest interest rate. If you can make an extra $200 towards paying off debt after making the minimum payments on all three, it will go to the highest rate account until it's paid off. Then you add the debt's minimum to that $200 extra and put the total toward the bill with the second highest interest rate. You'll pay off the $3,000 credit card last. Keep in mind, making at least the minimum payment is paramount for this method for several reasons. To avoid late fees and interest rate increase and damage to your credit score. If you do nothing else to pay down your credit card balance, at least make the minimum payments to remain in good standing. Let's talk about the debt consolidation method. Debt consolidation is when you combine all your debts into one single loan instead of juggling multiple payments to different creditors. You just make one payment to one place. This is good for someone who's struggling with multiple debts or someone who's paying off multiple high interest loans. This method will make debt easier to manage and pay off, but it may not be for everyone. Any unsecured debts, including credit cards, personal loans, and medical bills, are a few examples of accounts you may want to consider for debt consolidation. I'll drop a link of our top debt consolidation loans for you down in the description. Just be careful. Debt consolidation is not a magic trick to erase debt. It's just a way to simplify things, but hey, fewer bills equals fewer headaches, and you might even save some money on interest. Each lender sets its own requirements, but generally, credit scores of 690 or higher would be considered good credit scores. It's possible to borrow money from your 401k or to use a home equity loan to pay off your debt, but be aware that you risk your retirement savings and your home in those situations. Finally, let's talk about sacrifices. I'm talking about selling some stuff that you don't need. You know that inflatable kayak you bought for that one weekend trip that you never took? Yeah, it's time to let that go. If you want to pay off debt faster, sometimes you need to make some tough choices. That might mean eating out less, cutting subscriptions you don't use, or finding ways to make extra money. Now, if you really want to accelerate your debt payoff, you can pick up a side hustle. It's an easy way to make some extra money while you're working your 9 to 5. It could be anything from Uber to freelancing to selling old stuff on eBay. I've personally started my own small business with Amazon FBA. It's something called retail arbitrage. Retail arbitrage is a simple business model where you buy products from retail stores at a lower price and resell them on platforms like Walmart or Amazon for a profit. It involves taking advantage of price differences between different markets to make money. There are so many creative ways to make additional income. We have a side hustle video for inspiration that I'm going to link here. I'll also add a link in the description for a debt budgeting video as well for anyone who would like some additional resources. So whether you're snowballing, avalanching, consolidating, hustling, or just letting go of some old stuff, the key to paying off debt is consistency. Just remember, progress is progress no matter how small. The important thing is you're moving forward. Remember to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe for more tips that won't cost you a dime. Stay strong, stay smart, and remember, you got this.